All right, so Kristi Noem, aka the fascist Barbie, is flailing right now in anger and quite frankly pulling a Trump, and she is accusing CBS of deceptively editing an interview about Abrego Garcia. Now, in fairness to Kristi Noem, I believe this this interview is at least her interview. Like, when Trump sued 60 Minutes and he sued it over them editing Kamala's interview to make her look better. It's like, dog, like, it's one thing if you did an interview and they deceptively edit it. I would still say, like, tough shit, like, grow up. You don't need to bitch, or you can bitch a little, but you don't need to sue them or anything like that. But like, it was for Kamala. It was for Kamala. What do you mean? Who cares how they edit it? If they have her consent, who cares? Like, it's so dumb. It blows my mind, and I just can't, like, there's no rationalizing it. So now you have Noem accusing CBS of deceptively editing her interview about Abrego Garcia. Now, again, at least it's her interview, but let's read about it. So this is from The Hill. Before we get into this, just real quick, if you are new to the show, please hit that subscribe button. It is completely free, and it helps more than I can even put into words. Every single one of them. I try to cover the news almost every single day. I am not here to push you into one party or the other. I'm actually here. Truthfully, I'm here to push you to a real common sense policy platform. We're talking free universal health care, free higher public education, a livable minimum wage, and complete public infrastructure reform. All of these may sound radical in the good old US of A, but I promise you they are pretty much, this is just standard operating procedure in a lot of our other peer nations. So there's no excuse we shouldn't have it here. If you support that message, please hit that subscribe button. If you don't, you want to hate watch, you want to debate, you want to call each other names in the comments, I'm fine with that too. Maybe one day I can push you to just one of these policy positions. Anyways, without further ado, Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem accused CBS News of selectively editing footage from her Sunday interview, cutting some of her remarks about Kilmar Abrego Garcia, the Salvadorian national who was mistakenly deported and returned to the U.S. to face separate charges. In a statement on Sunday, the Department of Homeland Security said CBS deceptively edited the secretary's answers, cutting about 4 minutes from the nearly 17-minute interview when it aired on CBS News' Face the Nation. Oh no. Oh no. They edited your interview. Like, God. Like, it's funny. They only get mad at, like, liberal outlets editing interviews and shit, but, like, Fox News edits, like, their shit all the time, and there's nothing to be said. It's crazy. Just the parallels and, like, the absolute projection and hypocrisy. It's just so annoying, and I'm so exhausted of it. Anyway, she said, "This morning I joined CBS to report the facts about Kilmar Abrego Garcia," Noem said in a statement. Instead, CBS shamefully edited the interview to whitewash the truth about the MS-13 gang member and the threat he poses to American public safety. Number one, there is no evidence, charges, or anything that actually proves that he is an MS-13 gang member. Not even close. And number two, a court and several judges have found that Abrego Garcia is not a threat to public safety, hence why he was able to be released. I mean, until you took him back into ICE custody, but whatever. There's no actual, like, he was never convicted of any charges. At the time of his deportation, he had legal status to live and work in Maryland. He was a construction member and a part of a union as a part of that job. And yeah, and he was deported. And they just keep saying he's an MS-13 gang member. They Photoshop tattoos on his knuckles and say he's MS-13, even though that's not true. If anything, CBS News maybe just saved you a little bit here when Kilmar Abrego Garcia someday comes back to sue your ass into fucking oblivion for slander and just blatant lies. Like, maybe they saved you a couple million by probably cutting out some of the nonsense, like unproven, complete made-up nonsense that you're spewing. CBS News, however, maintains that the interview was edited to fit its allotted time slot and the hour-long broadcast, and that the full interview was published online. Secretary Noem's Face the Nation interview was edited for time and met all CBS News standards, a spokesperson for CBS News said in a statement to The Hill. The entire interview is publicly available on YouTube, and the full transcript was posted early Sunday morning at cbsnews.com. Noem's accusation is the latest example of the administration's ongoing feud with CBS and its parent company Paramount. Earlier this summer, Paramount agreed to pay $60 million to settle a lawsuit with President Trump over claims the news outlet favorably edited a 60-minute interview with former Vice President Kamala Harris, his Democratic opponent in 2024, as we had talked about. Complete nonsense. Absolute, just lunacy, craziness. In Noem's Sunday interview, sections of her responses cut for the live broadcast include allegations against Abrego Garcia that have not been substantiated and which his lawyers deny. These include allegations that the Maryland resident was a known human smuggler, MS-13 gang member, and individual who was a wife beater and someone who was so perverted that he solicited nude photos from minors, and even his fellow human traffickers told him to knock it off. Where is this coming from? Where is this coming from? Where? Show me the Carfax. Show me the Carfax. Show me the fucking evidence. Oh my God, you dumb fascist bitch. Oh God, I hate her so much. Fucking demon lizard person. That's what I think every time I see her. Just look at her. That is not a person. That's a fucking lizard, man. Okay, I'm done. What? They just make up I've never even heard this, and I've read every single piece of this. What are we doing? Lying is so overpowered. Holy crap. If anyone said this about Kristi Noem or Donald Trump, they would be sued into oblivion. They would be sued instantly into oblivion. The DHS statement includes other sections of the CBS News interview that reportedly did not air live on Sunday morning. Earlier this week, attorneys for Abrego Garcia asked a federal judge to issue a gag order against Kristi Noem and Attorney General Pam Bondi to bar them from making baseless public attacks against their client, who faces human smuggling charges stemming from a traffic stop in 2022. By the way, you can find it on my channel, or you can just look it up. You can find the where these charges came from. Even though he wasn't charged then, he was let go with a warning or a citation for speeding or some shit. You can watch that whole body cam footage. Nothing there, absolutely nothing there, except for one racist ass Tennessee cop after having a reasonable conversation, obviously with some language barriers, but he goes up to his partner. He's like, "You know what this is, right? Human smuggling." He's like, okay," and that's where it was. The thing is, they didn't arrest him for it. They didn't charge him for it. They didn't investigate him for it. And then, all of a sudden, it's now being thrown against him as a charge when he was brought back from CCOT, where they illegally deported him to, as a means to be like, see, we're charging him with a crime. It's so dumb, man. And not even to get into the fact that they're trying to deport him to Uganda before that trial even takes place. That will, in my estimation, I will bet a lot on this, that he would not be convicted or charged or found guilty at all for, because it didn't happen. It's not a thing. Freaking solicited nude photos from minors that even his fellow human traffickers told him to knock it off. What are you talking about? Jesus Christ. Okay. Abrego Garcia's lawyer said in a Thursday motion filed in a U.S. District Court for the Middle District of Tennessee that administration officials have targeted their client since he was released from prison, leveling highly prejudicial, inflammatory, and false statements. No kidding. If this is what Noem was saying, which I assume, it's not an if, it's what she said. I assume if we looked up the interview right now, we could find it. I just don't know how you can get away with this. It blows my mind. To safeguard his right to a fair trial, Mr. Abrego respectfully renews his earlier request that the court order all DOJ and DHS officials involved in this case and all officials in their supervisory chain, including Bondi and Noem, refrain from making extrajudicial comments that pose a substantial likelihood of materially prejudicing the proceeding, the attorney said in a 15-page motion to the U.S. District Judge Waverly Crenshaw. A DHS official pushed back against a gag order request. If Kilmar Abrego Garcia did not want to be mentioned by the Secretary of Homeland Security, then he should have not entered our country illegally and committed heinous crimes. Oh my God. They're in the thing that they're responding to, hey, you're just making a bunch of shit up about him. They say, no, if they don't want us to make up shit about him, he shouldn't have, then continues to make shit up about him. Okay, yeah, he came into the country illegally when he was 15. All right? And then there's no evidence of him being a gang member or committing crimes, these heinous crimes, or human smuggling or sexting with minors. Like, what are we doing here? There's nothing. There's nothing. If there was something back in 2019 when he got his work permit and his legal status to live and work in Maryland, back then that wouldn't have happened. There would have been more investigations. There would have been actual trial, actual charges levied against him, but there wasn't. You want to know why? Because there's nothing there. There's nothing there. Jesus Christ, that's crazy. That's wild. Once again, the media is falling all over themselves to defend this criminal, illegal MS-13 gang member who is an alleged human trafficker, domestic abuser, and child predator. I'm going to implode. My head is going to just... The DH official continued, the media's sympathetic narrative about the criminal illegal alien has completely fallen apart, that they continue to peddle his sob story. What do you want me to say? What do you want me to say? His sob story? You mean the man who is married, he has 3 kids, he works a construction job, he's in a union, he has a legal permission to live and work in Maryland, where he's lived, and he's been here since he was 15. And you took him, and you not only deported him when he was a legal resident, you deported him to the one country that he was specifically barred from being deported to. And not only did he get sent to that country, he got sent to a terrorism confinement center in that country, where, and it's either the same or a different lawsuit. We read it a couple of months ago, where he describes how he was tortured and beaten and sleep deprived. Sob story. You should know, I'll grant you, there are a lot to dig into here regarding Kilmar Abrego Garcia, in which we have done and gone into in the past over dozens of videos at this point. But if you could just take one thing away, if the President of the United States, during an interview, and along with the DHS and all this, has to pose and post this picture, this clearly photoshopped picture of MS-13 written on his knuckles, and claim that it's real and that proves he's a gang member, when you can tell it's photoshopped, when in all photos from the past and from now, since he's been brought back to the United States, show that he does not have any tattoos on his knuckles that spell out MS-13. How can you not just look at that and be like, maybe I should take everything else they say skeptically? Maybe I should take everything else they say with a grain of salt. Because this isn't some conspiracy. You can look at Trump's interview and DHS and Kristi, Noem, and Pam Bondi's statements regarding the tattoos on his knuckles, and then you can just go look at pictures taken since he's gotten back of his knuckles, or before it was taken, whenever, any time period, and you will see there is no MS-13 on his knuckles. If that is not enough for you to call into question everything else that this administration is spewing about him, then I don't know what to tell you. You are a lost cause. You are incapable of going, just stepping out of your cult or stepping out of this fucking weird ass team game you're playing and looking at objective reality. But ignoring objective reality and making your own reality, literally, is Republican 101. And I am pleading you to wake the hell up. All right? Wake the hell up. This isn't a team sport. This isn't a team game. This isn't a cult. There are facts. There are studies. There are reports. There is reality. It's right there. It's right there. And you choose to ignore it and actively fight against it because you don't like, and through your cult and your team game playing, through that, you just don't like the people who are giving you that objective information. You don't like me because, what? You think I'm a Democrat? You think I'm a liberal? I'm just a dude who wants you to have free health care and a better standard of living. Jesus Christ. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below, and I will see you in the next one. If you made it to this point in the video, I just want to give a special thank you. If you enjoyed it, please hit that like button down below, and if you really enjoyed it, maybe consider hitting that subscribe button while you're down there. I want to hear your thoughts in the comment section. I will try to reply to any and all comments that I can. Until next time, watch that video on screen.